Hello, guys. How we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. We're back now. I'm back from Turkey, so me and Paul can get together and chat, mate. We'll start with the season in general so far, mate. I think that's the best place to start. You know, played Man City now, played Viaborg, we played Nottingham Forest, and we played Brighton on Sunday. Have you seen it, mate? People have seen my reaction. You know, I've done my reviews.
Not the best start. I mean, City was kind of a free hit, but I think with City, I was disappointed because we literally just watched them play football. We didn't even try and get yeah, no one expected us to get anything from the game. I don't think no one expected us to win, but at least have a go. At least have a go.
Yeah, you know, last season when we played them, you know, we probably give them a go, didn't we? We really had a go at them, and it was just like, oh, go on, have the ball, go on, just play around.
Yeah, we had no attacking intent whatsoever. We literally just watched them play football, and I see a lot of people saying, oh yeah, but you know they only had like 2 shots on target and blah blah blah. Yeah, but they didn't need to do anything else.
No.
Like because their heat and all the rest of it, they got their goals. They were like, yeah, that'll do. They took Ireland off after 70 minutes. They didn't, you know, it was a non-contest really. So that was disappointing. Forest game again.
Really unlucky though, no? You know, I mean, the more I watch the highlights, the more I think, do you know what? We were bloody unlucky in that game.
I know. You know, it is a difficult one because, like you say, mate, when you look back at it, you know, all right, we hit the underside of the crossbar twice, had a goal disallowed, penalty saved. We had enough chances to win the game. Well. Clearance off the line.
Chance.
We had, Souček 100% should have scored. Yes, we had so many chances. We could have won that game 5-1, you know. They had a goal disallowed as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
So they you know, it could have been 4-5-1, 5-2. It could have been, but it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't. Like we had all those chances, we didn't take them, and it just set us up with 2 losses to start the season, and it's really put the pressure on. I mean, now you can see that, like Matt says, our record against Brighton's horrendous.
Horrendous. Obviously, we will talk about the Brighton game when we go into detail on that. But yeah, as I did my preview this morning, they're probably our new Everton, really, like, you know, new bogey team.
And then even
league not great at the minute.
League not great, and then you go into the conference playoff against Viborg, and yes, we won 3-1. I don't think Moyes was pleased we conceded, but
it's still outpassed for me as well, mate. I think Viborg looked better passing team than we did.
I mean, that's the thing, mate. You know, realistically, we looked terrible for 85% of that game. We looked terrible.
Fantastic goals. You know, Ben Rama with his probably arguably his best 2 performances in a West Ham shirt in a row. Yeah, we'll talk a bit more about him. Bowen's goal was fantastic, long range, finish, and great assist to Maka score as well. Cornet as well.
Cornet with the assist,
really impressive as well. Yeah, who has impressed you so far this season, then, mate? I've got to say, Ben Rama was against Nottingham Forest. He was unbelievable.
I honestly, if I'm being honest, mate, only Ben Rama. And I think Ben Rama, you know, I sort of said in our chat, is this going to be his season? I hope it is. You know, we've caned him off, slagged him off plenty on this channel because I don't think he's done enough. But I would love nothing more than to see him have a breakout season. Yeah. And it looks like it's difficult because it looks like he's really up for it. It looks like he's finally saying, right, I'm going to fight here for a place. I'm going to fight to be in the team. Is he doing it because he wants to move before the end of the window? It's possible. Is he going to carry this form on after the window closes? I don't know. But at the moment, it's great to see. You know, it's brilliant. He looks like a different player. He does. He looks like a different player. And that's my biggest problem with him has always been, first of all, his decision. Whoa. Light just completely decided to drop there. My biggest problem with him has always been this decision making. And you
sometimes it's that overplay of, you know, oh, I'll take it left, I'll take it right. Where against Forest and against Viborg, he was just direct, wasn't he? He was just running straight at the defence.
Yeah, and for someone, I think that's the thing. For someone who's supposed to be that tricky player, who's supposed to have all the tricks and take people on, I don't think I've seen enough of that from him. But he was doing that, you know. That's what we were missing. And it's such a shame to say because I'm a massive Lanzini fan, but Lanzini looks like he's lost any attempt at trying to go forward with a ball.
Yeah,
and we missed that massively. And Ben Rama bought that, and it was great to see.
What about disappointments so far, mate? Obviously, I know Bowen got that really good goal. He's not really started flying yet, has he? Soucek looks awful at the minute. He really, really does. And this is not me saying I want to sell him or anything like that, but he looks awful, doesn't he?
Yeah, and at the moment, I mean, what is he bringing to the team? I don't know. Obviously, we sort of put off his contract renewal. I know we weren't happy about that, but it seems like that was a good decision to make. But yeah, he's been really, really poor. I don't think Sufal has been good either. Although he looked all right. I wouldn't want to play him at left back, but I think he actually looked all right.
No, he didn't. I thought he looked good at left back.
I wouldn't want to play him there all the time. We still need to sign left back. I'm pretty sure Moyes said this in the presser that we're still after a left back. But yeah. I mean, it's like you say. I'm not saying I want to sell Soucek, but we definitely. Again, it looks like we are trying to bring in a centre mid, and we do need it. We do need it because when he's not running, when he's not popping up in the box with goals, I don't know what he offers.
He's really bad on the ball, and like he's really upright and stiff. Like he's not very mobile. He can't turn out. Like Declan Rice is brilliant at the turnout, but
yeah, he's awful. He's awful on the ball. He can't pass. And we have said this before. Like if he's not getting in the box, scoring them goals, and what I mean, Harry didn't score that chance against Forest. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know what he's offering at the minute.
Yeah, no, it's a tough one, mate. When we talk about the Brighton game, I'll ask you that question. With the penalty as well, mate, just very quickly go back. Who should be our penalty taker?
I mean, I think Lanzini is our penalty taker. That particular penalty, and we all said it, as soon as Rice stepped up, everyone, I said everyone, I knew he was going to miss. I had absolutely no confidence whatsoever that he would score that penalty. And it should have been Ben Rama. Ben Rama should have took that penalty. I don't know. He had a really good record at Brentford. It should have been Ben Rama. Rice, I don't know why. I think Rice, because he's got the armband, he feels like he has to be the one that steps up, and he's trying to
We've seen him miss two now as well.
Yeah, he's trying to take over from Noble, but it's weird because he can strike the ball. Rice.
Yeah, he's technically very good. Technically,
he can strike the ball. We've seen when he has those long shots, like he can hit the ball, but his penalty technique really poor. Really poor. Yeah, no confidence in him, and I don't think we'll see him take him again.
No, I don't think he'll take the next one at all. Just on the viable game again, mate. Do you think we've done enough then, or maybe one more go out there and that should be it?
Yeah, I think so, mate. I think so. I was really worried. One goal, I don't think would have been enough. I really don't think it would have been a 2-goal lead. Yeah, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, I do as well. What do you make of the new signings then? Let's talk about that before we move on to other things. Obviously, we see them properly. The only one we haven't really seen yet is Downs. Cornet looks good. Cornet does look really good. Again, I said it before he signed. He reminds me of Trevor Sinclair a little bit. That directness, can cut back, put the ball in. Let's talk about him first.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that impressed me with him was his two-footedness. He can play on either foot and
pace as well.
Yeah, he's pacey. Although he's not, I don't know if he really stretched his legs, but there was a couple of times where I expected him to look quicker than he did. I don't know if if he was really pushing himself. But yeah, just that ability to use either foot to put a cross in. He can play either side of the pitch, but that made such a big difference. When he was running down the wing and being able to put that cross in with his left foot, right foot, the defender don't really know what way he's going to go. That unpredictability, massive. And obviously,
that have a natural winger as well. Someone who wants to actually sit out there, really wants to sit out there, not constantly cut in. It's nice. It gives you width, gives you better width.
Yeah, really good signing. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does across the season.
Yeah, Cornet was fantastic. Bowen and Ben Rama as well. Moving on to your boy mate Gianluca Scamacca. There's a big player in there. There really is. We've seen little glimmers. little glimmers, and I'm so glad he did score against Freiburg. Because the longer it goes on, you get a little bit nervous. And strikers, it's all confidence. Really good goal. He's a presence, isn't he? He really is a good presence.
Yeah, he look like you say, mate. He looks a real deal, and I can't wait to see more of him. I really can't. It was a really good goal, good header. 6'5", whatever he is. That's the goal. So that's something that I was thinking when I was watching that goal. That's not a goal Antonio would have scored.
No,
Antonio wouldn't have scored that, and it gives us that something different. And yeah, I think he needs a bit more support. I think at times he did look isolated.
I think he's still, people are still learning his runs and learning that stuff. And again, that take a couple of weeks to click.
Yeah, I think it's good having, the likes of Bowen and now Cornet, although Bowen hasn't had the best start of the season, although he looked much better on Thursday. But having them either side, I think we really need a proper number 10 now, I think. Now, like I say, I hate to say it, but Lanzini just doesn't look like he's got that ability to drive forward anymore. And I think if we had a proper number 10 to get closer... Do you think
Benrahma could play there, though?
Maybe, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I was thinking, for the Brighton game, if Moyes wants to be a little bit different, could he go Cornet, Benrahma, Bowen and Scamacca? Just as a real, you've got real ball carriers there. They all can shoot from range as well.
Yeah, I mean, he could do... then you're like, all right, where does Fornals play? Fornals changed the game when he came on Thursday, by the way.
Yeah, no, he was good because again he's had a poor start to the season as well. He wasn't been good the first two games.
When he came on for Lanzini, he changed the game because he did have that forward thinking. But yeah, I don't know.
There are arguments, mate. A lot of people are saying they'd like to see Fornals come in for Souček. You have Rice and Fornals, and then I don't know whether you would trust Benrahma in there with Fornals or whether you want Lanzini purely just for work rate. I don't know. That's a tough one.
I mean, that's the thing. He's played Lanzini in that sort of sitting midfield position. So yeah, I could see Fornals playing there. Definitely can. But then I wouldn't want Lanzini in front because unless Lanzini, at first it's been like this for a while. I was thinking maybe it's instruction. Maybe he's just been told to play the simple pass to keep possession. But I don't know. It seems like maybe he's too scared now to lose the ball.
Yeah.
So he won't make those forward passes or those forward runs. I don't know. But yeah, playing Benrahma in that number 10 role, like you say, I think eventually that would be against certain teams. That would be a really good lineup. Scamacca up front, Cornell on the left, Bowen on the right. Benrahma just in behind. I could see that definitely being an option. And that's the thing, it's good to have options. But I really do think we could do with another proper attacking midfielder to play. Yeah. Someone who's going to get up alongside or just behind Scamacca to give him a bit of support.
Yeah, we'll talk about transfers in a minute. Another player, mate, obviously, I've not even done a reaction video to him signing. Thilo Kehrer, I think that's how you pronounce it, German international. Mate, he's passed to Benrahma. You talked about direct passing Lanzini. That is, because I said to my dad at the time, that pass is not to Neymar. Do you know what I mean? For PSG, that pass is to Neymar on the left-hand side. He looked good in a few minutes, didn't he? And I think we've signed a really good player here. I really do.
Yeah, I can't believe how cheap he was. I really can't. I have to say, I'll admit, I don't really, before we signed him, before we were linked with him, I never really knew anything about him. But you look at his pedigree and, the amount of
most played German international under the latest manager.
Yeah, a full German international, like you say, played more games, more minutes than any other player under him. And he was like 12 million. I don't even think it was that. It was like 12 million euros, wasn't it? It was like 10 million pounds.
You know what it is? And people come out sometimes, like West Ham fans as well, go, what do we want him for? But, they come out with that, he's a PSG reject. But when you play for those huge clubs like PSG's, like Liverpool's, mate, you're not a bad player. PSG don't go and buy a bad player. And you have to look at what's in front of him. Marquinhos, Sergio Ramos, one of the best defenders that's ever lived. He's not a mug. Do you know what I mean?
No,
PSG
absolutely.
was quite disappointed to let him go, apparently.
And didn't they pay like 30 million for him?
Yeah.
So no, I think he's going to be a really, really good signing. It does give an interesting thing though. So when everyone's fit, when Aguerd's back, who plays? It's interesting.
Yeah,
Aguerd, Zuma, and Kehrer. I know we need those. We need those options.
but mate, you're not even mentioning Oggy, who was fantastic to see him back. Fantastic to see him back, man.
And he looked good as well.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know whether he's fully ready to start in the Premier League yet. Maybe a couple more weeks to get the fitness up. But like we said, mate, who knows what Oggy could have another 2 years left in him. He could.
Easy. Yeah, easy.
So it's a good problem though. It's a really good problem to have. Just on Kehrer, mate. Obviously, are you disappointed that Diop went? Now that Diop definitely has gone, is there any sort of regret there, or are you sort of like,
no, not really. No, it was time to move on. Time to go. He obviously wanted to leave. He didn't think he was going to get as much playing time this season as he would have liked. I don't think Moyes trusted him. And now we've bought in. It's going to be annoying trying to pronounce that guy's name.
I know, it's hard to pronounce.
Yeah,
Kehrer, I think it is.
Let's be honest. To me, he looks like a much better version of Diop. And obviously, he can play.
We need to see him in the Premier League. We need. To see,
we do. Yeah, we do. So no, I'm not disappointed that Diop went. The only thing is, I honestly do think. I think Diop's a good player. I do. I think Diop's a good player. It wouldn't surprise me whatsoever for him to have 2 really good seasons and they go on and sell him for £30 million. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. But for West Ham and for Diop, it was the right time. I think it was time to move on.
No, I agree, mate. Just one more thing on that game, because again, we're looking at players and how they're doing it in a minute. I'm going to give you 2, mate. Harrison Ashby and Connor Coventry. Harrison Ashby for me, mate, is the next one, and we keep saying it on this channel anyway, don't we? Is there anything in you that would say he could start the Premier League next week, and you would drop Soufal or you drop Johnson and put him in?
Mate, I've said this previously. I've said it a few times now. I rate Ashby higher than Johnson already.
Yeah,
already.
No, I agree, mate.
I do. I think Ashby's better than Johnson, and I would play him ahead of him, no problem. So yeah, if the lineups came out and Ashby was starting in the Premier League, would not bother me whatsoever. Wouldn't frighten me. I'd be quite excited to see it, to be honest.
He looks so good. He looks so good on the ball. I think
he's a real player. He's a real player. He really is.
Really
it'd be interesting to see him play in the Prem and see him tested defensively, because we haven't really seen that. Let's be honest. We haven't really seen him be tested properly defensively. But yeah, I really, really rate him highly. I think he's a fantastic player. I really do.
Yeah, I think he's got a massive future.
He reminds me, I know a lot of people don't rate him, but he really reminds me of Trent Alexander-Arnold. He does.
Yeah. He reminds me a lot of what Cresswell was like when he first come to West Ham. You know, when Cresswell was a bit more direct and, before the injuries, like he reminds me of that. He's a good player. With Connor Coventry, I don't know. I don't know. Am I being harsh because he was playing next to Soucek? That's the only thing I can give him.
I think the problem with Connor is he's just and again, it could have been probably under instruction to keep it safe, but he's just a bit of a player. You know, he doesn't have any standout attributes for me. He's not. I don't think he's a Premier League player. I don't. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I think he'll have a good career, but I don't think it'll be in the Premier League. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
The fact that we are looking at centre midfielders, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Yeah, I don't think so. I really don't.
Like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if he goes out on loan, or even if we sold him in this window. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And like I said, I think he'll go on and have a career, maybe in the Championship. But no, unfortunately, no, I don't.
He's another Josh Cullen, isn't he? For me, I think Josh Cullen was a better player, to be honest with you. Right, let's go on. Let's do the preview and then we'll do transfer news. We'll do that, but let me just put something up, mate, so we've got something to refer to. So it is Brighton, mate, like you say, mate, bogey team. Let's have a look here. So they're undefeated in their first 2 games. They beat Man United at Old Trafford 2-1, and then a 0-0 against Brighton, and obviously, So here we go. So Brighton's strengths and weaknesses: creating chances with a through ball, creating scoring chances, defending set pieces, which obviously we're really good at, Finishing scoring chances and avoiding individual errors. What's the lineup? So they've got lineups. Who's have the lineups on it?
Brighton's strength should be playing against West Ham.
Yeah.
There.
Can't see the lineup. Where's the lineups? No, I can't find the lineups. Who do you like for Brighton, mate? I always say it, Trossard. I'm a big Trossard fan. I liked Cucurella, but obviously Cucurella's now at Chelsea. Yeah, obviously Daniel Welbeck for them as well. They've lost some big players though. Cucurella, Bissouma, Neil Maupay, who loves scoring against us, has obviously just gone as well. Yeah, good manager.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know. It's one of them where if I look through their team, is there anyone I'd say, oh yeah, I would want them?
I would have Trossard. I would have Trossard at West Ham. I would. I like him a lot. Big fan. We're linked with midfielder Casido as well. I don't think he'll come, but we are linked.
We were linked with him last year for really little money, and then I think and Liverpool linked with him now for like £50 million or something stupid.
Yeah.
So yeah, forget that one. I don't know, mate.
Good solid defender.
I think that's the thing that they're a good team. You know, they're a good team. I just don't have any confidence when we play against them, just because our record against them is so poor. And to be honest with you, even if our record weren't so poor, the way that we've started the season, I don't know, mate.
Yeah,
it's weird because we've made good signings, and we were just talking about how pleased we are with the performances of the new signings. I think the problem is those new signings won't play. There's absolutely no chance Scamacca starts, no chance Cornet starts. Cornet especially, didn't he play the full 90? Those two
I think
definitely...
he might start. I think he might start.
No,
Scamacca won't, no?
No, Antonio will be back in, and I actually think he'll probably start with Benrahma on the left. I'll be amazed if Cornet starts after playing the full game on Thursday. I hope I'm wrong, but it's just the amount of time we take to bed in these players, and we started the season really poorly. I don't know, mate. I worry for us. I do, especially when you look at the fixtures coming up after this game as well.
Oh yeah, mate. The Spurs in it. I think we've got Newcastle, Chelsea in there. Like tough games. Yeah, I don't. Obviously, they beat us last game of the season, which cost us obviously our place, didn't it? Was it last game of the season or second fun game? Last game of the season, they beat us 1-1 at London Stadium. Mate, the only time we've ever beat them, and this is not Prem. I was in Ireland and we was watching it in your room, mate, and Ricardo Vazte scored a hat-trick with a bicycle kick. 6-0, and God knows, that's about 12 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want to see from us, mate? Like you say, mate, we want to see Scamacca, we want to see Cornet, but I can't see him. What about defence? Will he put Ogbonna back in next to Zuma now, do you think? We can't have Ben Johnson at centre-back again. We can't have that. Or will Kehrer come in? Will Kehrer come in?
I don't know. Is it? I don't know. Is Ogbonna? I don't know. I don't think Ogbonna's fit enough to play a full game, and I don't think you really want to be making substitutes for centre backs in the Premier League. No. So I don't know. I don't know if Ogbonna will be ready to play. So if he's not, it's going to have to be Kehrer, isn't it?
You've got to put him in. We've got to put him in, haven't we?
Yeah. And that's assuming that. I'm assuming that Zuma's fit. I did see in the presser he said Dawson's not far away, but I don't think.
I forgot about Big Dawson. Yeah, I forgot about.
Yeah, he said Dawson's not far away, but again, I don't think he'll play. So yeah, you kind of think he has to throw him in. He kind of has to. Why did we sign him otherwise?
Exactly, but that's what my one frustration is with Moyes. It's like, look, we needed this guy, so why are you not starting him? It's the same with Scamacca, isn't it? I got real pelters on Twitter. In the Forest game, when I see Antonio in the starting lineup, I went, I'm bored of this. I cannot keep seeing this lineup. It doesn't work. What was that stat you sent in the chat the other day? Was it something like 4 wins in the last 20 in the Premier League?
I think it was worse than that, mate. It might have been something. Yeah, it was like when it like eight losses. It was 8 losses from our last 12. I think it was.
Yeah, and come on, this tried and tested. It's not working. It's like, yes, I'm glad Antonio scored the other night. Yeah, brilliant, fantastic. But come on, we've just spent 35 million on this striker. Bloody play the geezer. How much time do you want to give him? How much time? Like, it's so frustrating. And then people don't like it when I say it, but it's the truth. I'm sorry, it's the truth.
No, I agree completely. I really do, mate. You know, Antonio, and again, like you say, he came off the bench, he scored a goal, and I actually think Antonio did well. I don't like seeing Antonio play for us anymore, but he did well. He did, and he got himself into a good position to make that finish. And just like I was saying, where when Scamacca's goal, Antonio wouldn't have scored that. It did make me wonder: would Scamacca have scored that goal? Would Scamacca have been in that position for that tap-in, for that cutback? Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting.
Well, would you like to see them both play together? That's something we haven't seen.
Yes, 100%. Yes. The problem is fitting them both in. I would love to see them both play together. Maybe play Scamacca up front, and maybe. But again, if you're then playing Antonio on the left, then Cornet's not playing. If you're playing him on the right, then Bowen's not playing.
Yeah.
Is Antonio better than both of them as wingers? Probably not. It's difficult. How do you fit them all in? It's difficult. So I would love to see Antonio and Scamacca play together. I really would. I think it would actually be carnage, both of them too. But how do you make that work with the rest of the team? I don't know.
I think, as the season goes on, I'd like to see Antonio used as an impact sub. I don't think he can start Premier League games anymore. I just don't think he hasn't got that pace on the turn anymore.
No.
And obviously his pace is better suited to like 25 minutes at the end. And then he can just go for it rather than, trying to protect himself, trying to think, oh, my hamstring's going to go. Can't go for it. Last 20 minutes, he can just go full all out. Go on, go for it.
What do you make, just because we haven't really spoke at all since then, but what do you make of the disallowed goal at Forest? The Benrahma?
Yeah, I don't think it should have been disallowed.
Mate, I actually... going against popular opinion here, I think it was the right decision. If that was the other way around, if you watch the replay again, people say, "Oh, the defender stepped across him." Antonio curved his run to run into him, and he ran into him with his hands up. And then
I think the hands up thing is the thing that killed it.
He ran into him with his hands up and pushed him, mate. If that was the other end of the pitch, we would be screaming for that.
Oh yeah, no, I would. I'm not going to deny that.
I think that was just stupidity from Antonio. I do. I just think it was pure stupidity. If he'd have, like you say, ran into him with his hands up, if he'd have even attempted to turn his body side on and sort of barge him out of the way, that no fouls given, the goal stands. But it was stupid for me. Stupid.
No, I agree. Any predictions for the game then, mate? I'm going to go 1-1. I don't think we're going to get a win. I think we might get our first result, a draw. I don't think we'll win.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I can see a loss. I can.
My opinion changes with the lineup, though, mate. I'm sitting here. If I see Cornet, Scamacca, and Bowen, I'm going, yeah. Do you know what? Maybe. If I see Antonio up front again with the same old Benrahma left wing, and I'm not saying Benrahma's bad. I'm just saying, we've got Cornet now, then I'm going to be annoyed. I am. I'm going to be quite annoyed. If I see Usyk in midfield again, do you know what I mean?
Soufal right back, Johnson back at centre back, Cresswell left back.
It's all down to what
Fabianski in goal. Yeah, I know. We spent £100 million and we're playing the same team we played last year.
Exactly. It is frustrating. That it is really frustrating. Let's go on to transfer news, mate. I've got to put a few little tabs up to share. We'll start with the left back, actually, mate. Sounds like he's back on now. It was off, then it's back on, and then it's off, then it's back on again. Another one of your boys, mate. Italian international Emerson, 28 years old, only just 28. Obviously plays for Chelsea, was on loan at Lyon last year, and he probably did play against us. I didn't notice, to be honest with you. Can play left wing and left wing back. Just looking at his strengths and weaknesses. No weaknesses, apparently. Perfect player. Passing, crossing, holding the ball up, key passes, dribbling, good at aerial duels. Apparently very, very good concentration as well, and doesn't dive in on tackles. Any opinions on Emerson, mate?
It's weird because following on the forums and that, it seems to be that most West Ham fans are slagging him off and saying, "Oh, this is terrible." Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand it, mate. I rate him. I do. I rate him. Like, the fact that he hasn't had the chances at Chelsea, so what? Chelsea, look at the players that Chelsea have ruined. Look at
the left backs in front of him as well. Ben Chilwell, England international, whatever you think of him. Alonso, Marcos Alonso's been like their steadfast left back for years and years. Maybe just hasn't been given a chance.
I think so, and he played the full season. I'm pretty sure he played nearly every game for Lyon, and I rate him. I do. I like him. Do I think he's like one of the best left backs in the world? No. Is he a big upgrade on Cresswell? Definitely.
Yeah, it's slightly uninspiring. It is slightly uninspiring with some of the names we've been linked with, but we need a left back. Do you know what I mean? We do need one.
For again, Italian international left back. Don't get me wrong, Italy haven't got a lot of left backs at the minute. They haven't had for a few years.
No, they have a fantastic one that obviously got really badly injured in the Euros.
Yeah, Spinazzola comes along, but before him, and even then, he's not really a left back. Spinazzola's not. No,
it's been quite a weak position, isn't it, for Italy?
It has been, yeah.
After Maldini sort of converted to a centre back.
Yeah, no, it has been. It has been a weak position for quite a while, to be honest. But Emerson has been the one to play there when they have played, four at the back. He's been the one to play there. Obviously, like you say, before Spinazzola come in. Although I think Spinazzola's more a midfielder. But anyway, different conversation. I like it, mate. I like it.
12 million as well. Was it 12 million or 15 million? I can't remember what the price is.
It was like 10 million or 12 million plus add-on. I think it was 10. I think it was 10 going up to 12.
Again, 10 million is a good price for a Premier League player.
Mate, £10 million for a Premier League experienced full international left back. Come on. And like I say, is he an upgrade on Cresswell? Yes, he is. I don't know why people are so upset about it.
Well, if Oggy plays on that left-hand side as well, if Oggy does force his way back into the team, you got that double-sided Italian on that side. They could build a partnership there. Yeah.
No, I like it, mate. I like it. I don't understand the negativity. If it comes off, happy days. Like you say, is he a next-level wow signing? No, he's not. Is he an upgrade on Cresswell? Yes, he is, definitely.
But then there's a question I ask you as well, mate, on that, that next level, what you're saying there. Have we been aiming too high early on in the window? With the guy that's just gone to Wolves, like we know he's gone there because of the Portuguese link. Players like that and Kostic, are they just sort of just out of our league at the moment, and we're just aiming a bit too high?
Yeah, I think so. I think the problem is not going for those players. 100% stick a bid in. You never know. Like Scamacca, a lot of people probably would have thought he would have been too out of our range.
Turned down PSG for us, mate.
Yeah, so 100% go for these players. I think the problem is we go for them, and then when it becomes kind of clear to everybody that they're not really that interested, we should move on. But instead, we don't. We seem to chase them for 2 months, and then they go somewhere else, and we're all of a sudden surprised. So I don't mind us going for those type of players, but if it turns around and they're not interested, all right, fair enough, move on quick. Don't kind of hang around and sort of see what happens, and because then you just miss out on other targets.
Yeah,
I'll tell you one who's Estepinian. He signed for Brighton, didn't he? Just recent. Yeah, he's a really good player. Really, he's one for looking at left backs. We should have been all over that. You hear say all the time, but
he may play against us tomorrow. Actually, we might see him tomorrow. Another player that looks close, mate. Sorry, not close. He's just apparently may come in on loan. I'm just going to get the tab up for you so we can have a proper look at him. Obviously, all of you would have heard of him. Ashley Nathan Miles will be 25 in 9 days' time. As you can see there, can play left back, right back, centre mid, left, right. And I think even at times he's playing attacking mid for West Brom at some points during the season. Holding the ball up and intercepting is a strength. Aerial duels his weakness. Obviously, he's quite short. Likes to dribble and likes to shoot from distance. What do you make of him, mate? Is that, I think, again, would be quite a decent signing, that?
Would be, yeah. It definitely would be. I think he would be more of a sort of squad option.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be starter. No.
But yeah, no, I wouldn't have any problems at all with that. Yeah, like you said, decent signing. Probably hasn't really had the chance at Arsenal. Probably needs a move to sort of rejuvenate his career a bit. Loan, I don't know if I'd be loan's a weird one. If we signed him outright, or if it was a loan with an option, maybe. But just a loan, I don't know.
The biggest loan that I want West Ham to get done, if we can get it done, is Conor Gallagher. That there seems to be constant talk that Conor Gallagher, West Ham quite close and, would be the preferred option if he got the move. We've got to be all over that. We have to be all over that. And that's what we need, isn't it? We need that. That's exactly the player we need. Doggy little midfielder, can pass the ball quite well, scores goals. And then, maybe I wouldn't be against Souček leaving then if he came in, because I'd be thinking, if there was a loan to buy option, if there was an option to buy Conor Gallagher at the end of the deal, I wouldn't be too against Souček going there. What about you?
Yeah, I agree with that. Although, if we bought him in, Souček went, I think we still need another one. We'd still need one more.
Will it be this guy, mate? The next one I'm going to put up. Obviously, this one does look like it will happen as well. Hans Vanaken. I keep calling him Venkman. He is an attacking midfielder. Ridiculous stats in the Belgium league. Sadly, will be 30 in 4 days' time. Full Belgium international. Plays with Kevin De Bruyne in the midfield. There's the positions that he can pick up. Obviously, centre mid, centre attacking mid, and he can play on the right as well. Weaknesses is tackling, aerial duels, through balls, dribbling, and takes a really good free kick as well. Again, I didn't know anything about this guy, but I did watch some videos of him. It looks a real player, got really good feet. Consistently hits doubles, 10 assists, 10 goals. For 10 million, a player that, seems to want to come to the Premier League as well, 30 years old, I think it's a no-brainer as well, mate. I'm quite excited about it if it happens, to be honest with you.
Yeah, same as you, mate. I don't really know anything about him. I haven't actually watched any videos yet. So I don't know. I'll have to defer to your judgment on that one.
It looks very composed. A lot of the videos, he gets the ball in the 18-yard box and there's no panic. It's just like he'll do the drag back, get the shot away. There's no he'll find that big pass and stuff like that.
But like I was saying earlier, that's a player that we need. That's a player that we need.
Like
someone
really
who's
calm.
and someone who's going to get up and around Skamaka. That's what we need. That's exactly what we need.
And find that past the Bowen and find that past the Cornet when they're bombing on. 30 years old, some West Ham fans are going, what we signed a 30-year-old for? Mate, Paolo Di Canio was 29 when we signed him. And, had 3-4 amazing years. 30 years old, sometimes it's good to have a bit of an old head in there sometimes. Just a bit calmer. You got anything against the age?
Depends on the contract, really, doesn't it? I mean, in principle, no, I haven't got anything against signing a 30-year-old. If we're giving him a 5-year contract with an option, that's a little bit much. So I think it depends on the contract. But in principle, no, I ain't got any issues signing a 30-year-old, especially as, like you say, he's only just turning 30 as well.
I don't know if we spoke about it on the last show. I can't remember about Dimitri Payet. Obviously, wants his last dance with West Ham. How true that is, I don't know. At 35, would you take him, mate?
No.
Really? You wouldn't? You wouldn't take him for like 2 years? Have a 2-year deal on him?
No. 35 years old, fat. Yes, he's still... Obviously, he's a highlight reel player now. No, not for me. If he plays, I mean, I understand. Imagine him swinging in free kicks and imagine him putting in dead balls to our players now.
He's not a Moyes player, though, is he? He ain't going to run. No. The geezer is not going to run.
The thing is when we had him before, he was legitimately one of the best players in the world. And it didn't matter that he didn't run. He was that good.
The one thing he did in the 90 minutes was enough to change the game.
It was worth the team carrying him and doing the running for him. And I'm pretty sure, the likes of Noble said that that's exactly what they were told. You do his running for him.
Yeah.
Fine. When he was that player, he's not that player anymore. Yes, class is permanent. You never lose that.
Well, I still think, if he came in and he was given, like I said to you, didn't I? Like, was given a Pirlo role where, he just, sits in midfield, he ain't got to run. I still think he would be amazing for us.
I don't think we can afford, we ain't a good enough team to be able to afford that luxury. I say luxury, like to be able to afford someone to just sit there and spray passes. We're not good enough for that. We're not good enough for that. If we had Pirlo in midfield, he wouldn't have anyone to pass to. Like,
no, because no one would move.
Yeah, exactly. We're not good enough for that. We ain't.
No. So you wouldn't take Perlo then?
I would. I'd take Pirlo even now. What is he? 40 years old. I would take him
probably
now.
still be the best passer in our team.
He would, without a doubt.
Another player we're linked with, mate, and this is one. If I could have a player come to West Ham, and would really excite me, is this guy. You definitely would have heard of him, mate. Probably one of the best players on FIFA. Seko Fofana, 27 years old, plays for Lens, absolute warrior, beast of a player. Again, if you haven't seen him play, go and have a look. Tackling is his weakness. He's dribbling, long shot are fantastic. Apparently, again, Lens are prepared to listen to offers that are about 40 million. We know 40 million sitting there as well, because Onana was, close. Onana was really close. This one would really excite me if we were to pull this off, but I can't see it.
I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. Have there been any actual proper strong links, or is it just?
There was a lot of links last night on Twitter. His name with West Ham was heavily. It was between us and Newcastle, apparently.
I'd love to see it. Would love to see it. Like you say, we were going for Onana. We didn't get him. If we were obviously prepared to spend that amount of money on a player, then we must still want that type of player. So yeah, 100%.
Did you watch the Lens game? Did you watch the pre-season Lens game?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, obviously he played against us, and you could see it. This geezer's, he's a beast. He's an absolute beast. That is someone we need. That would be the perfect match then, and maybe would take the pressure off Souček. You got Rice, who's the pretty player, lovely ball player. Souček's the just monster, and then this guy's just absolute animal. I would love to see it. Would love to see it, but I can't see it. I cannot see it. Another player whose name's just been dangled about. It's not so much linked to him, but Ten Hag has said he does not want Scott McTominay really anymore. Would you take him?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I would.
I would as well. Yeah, again, a lot of West Ham fans are saying, "Nah, don't want him."
It's because he's unglamorous. He's not got a fancy name, but he's a good player. Scott McTominay's a good player. He's a really good player.
I think Moyes would like him as well. He does like the Scottish internationals, Moyes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's as good as Declan Rice, but
no.
When Man United were linked with Rice originally, part of me was thinking, well, they've got McTominay. What do they really need Rice? Like I say, I'm not saying he's as good as Rice, but he's a really good player. He's a really good player. I would take him definitely.
Yeah, no, I would, mate, as well. Ironic says we don't have 40 million left now.
Well, where's it gone?
Well, what you got to think, mate, is obviously Diop left for what was it, 17 million? Was it Diop?
15, something like that.
15. So that's already covered Kehrer. So in theory, there is still 40 million left. So again, correct me if I'm wrong. Simon says time to try a new formation, maybe a 3-4-2-1. Steal up the midfield, grab extra possession. We have got, we've got 3 good enough centre backs now to play that.
Yeah, Moyes can't play 3 at the back. He's too pragmatic. If we tried to play a 3 at the back, it will be a 5 at the back, and then realistically with West Ham, it becomes a 7 at the back because we have 5 defenders, 2 holding midfielders. I would love to see us be adventurous enough to try an actual real 3 at the back.
Yeah, where we have the real, Cornet playing wing back and really fluid.
You'll never see that under Moyes. Never. It'll be a 5 at the back, and then it will look like a 7 at the back.
Yeah. Just to finish on the transfers, then, mate, how many do you think will come in between now and obviously 10 days left?
I think 2. I think we'll definitely. I think we'll sign a left back. I think we'll sign a centre mid. And I think that'll be us. Maybe we'll see maybe one of them will be alone. I don't know. If we get 2 of those, 2. I think 2. I think maybe 3 because if we get Emerson, if we get that what's his name, Vaneka.
Yeah.
If we get those 2, and then a centre mid.
Yeah, because I think them 2 will be permanents.
Yeah.
And there is still 2 loan deals there. And is he waiting on Conor Gallagher or is he waiting on Brozier as that loan deal?
Mm.
So
I think, I like you say, I think Emerson, Vanaken come in, and then maybe one more.
yeah, no, I agree. Let's just switch it up then, mate. Let's just talk about the Premier League in general with Manchester United, and we'll talk about AJ, and then we'll finish. What do you make of Manchester United so far, mate? It's very hard to not laugh when we talk about them.
It's great to see. Great to see.
It is, mate. It is fantastic.
They're making us look decent at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the club's an absolute shambles. They're an absolute mess.
Long may it continue.
Long may it continue, mate. It's great to see. They're absolute mess, and it makes me laugh. I know a lot of Man United fans, and when Ten Hag came in, it was like, oh, Ten Hag, amazing. He's the best manager ever. Is it based on what? Based on what? I don't know. I always had that.
It's very scattergun the way that, we talk about our transfer window, mate. It's like, oh yeah, we want Luke de Jong, we want this Anthony, we want this. Yeah, they've gone and signed a really good player in Casemiro, but a very scattergun. It's like at one point linked with an Arnautovic. I think, mate, some of the names that they've been linked with is awful. I
mean, awful. like Casemiro, £60 million. What's he on a 4-year contract? 300 grand a week.
30 as well now.
30 years old.
Not that I'm going to say he's going to be a bad player. He's in the Ballon d'Or list, actually.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but playing in a Real Madrid team. You know what I mean? I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if Varane plays that kind of link up again, him and Varane. But then, like, Man United signed Varane and sort of destroyed him a bit.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Good question.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see Paqueta. I'm pretty sure I would love to sign Paqueta.
I would love to sign him.
I'm pretty sure he's already came out and said he wouldn't join West Ham. I'm pretty sure he has publicly came out and said he wouldn't.
Yeah, I think. Who have I read that want him? I think it is Man United, and obviously his good friend Bruno plays for Newcastle, so I would expect him to go to one of them clubs. But he is a very, very good player. Let's not deny that. Last thing we'll talk about then, mate. Quickly talk about the massive fight tonight. Huge fight. Anthony Joshua versus Usyk 2. What are you expecting, mate?
I really don't know, mate. I really don't know. I was hoping that AJ would come in heavier, but
both the same weight.
Both the same.
Exactly the same weight.
Both the same. And I genuinely feel like that was his big mistake last time around, because, it's, I saw a lot of interviews of people saying, but he's comfortable at that weight. But that was one of the lightest he had fought at for the first fight. So I don't know. I don't like it. I don't really like that. I would have liked to have seen him come in heavier.
It's a really ridiculous thing to say about a boxer, but he can't box. Like he's not a boxer, is he?
I mean, he can, but he's not like AJ can box, but Usyk's on a different level when it comes to technical ability.
Fantastic.
Yeah, AJ can box. He cannot outbox Usyk. I think that's fair to say. And he needs to, he's got a stone and a half on him. If he'd have come in a stone, I think if he'd have come in 2 stone heavier. When I say 2 stone heavier, I mean 2 stone heavier than Usyk. If he'd have come in for he just needed to come in bigger. He needs to be bigger. He needs to be aggressive. He needs to push him around. And I was seeing. I watched Carl Frock was talking on Sky yesterday, and he was saying that AJ marked him up in that first fight. He did towards the second half of the fight when he was. If AJ can hit him, he's going to hurt him. He is going to hurt him, but he needs to be more aggressive. He needs to be more on the front foot. The first fight was awful. I could have trained him better for that first fight. Awful strategy, awful game plan. Didn't work, and he got beat up. And I think
it's a tough one to call, mate. It really is a tough one to call tonight. Matt Rainey just quickly says, "Can't wait for our beautiful Ukrainian hammer to annihilate the lamppost." Sorry, lads. Hey, don't apologise to me. I want Usyk to win. I can't stand AJ. I can't.
I like AJ. I want AJ
flash.
to win.
I think it's all fake.
I can't stand Eddie Earn, but no, I do like AJ.
I know. I like Uncle Eddie. For those of you who don't know, that's my last name. My last name is Hearn. I like Uncle Eddie, but I think he's not as bad. And this is Paul's going to go. Nah. He's not as bad as Fraudley Harrison. But
behave.
AJ, AJ,
Come on,
AJ
behave.
has got a bit about him now, mate, where he
No.
don't like getting it no more. He has. He
Nah.
don't like getting it no more.
I think there's
No
too much
boxer likes
weight.
getting it, but
No, there's too much weight being put on the first Usyk fight. There is. People have like people.
no, I
are,
think since the Ruiz fight, mate, since Andy Ruiz fight, he don't like getting it no more.
Listen, he got knocked out, right? Ruiz knocked him out. Obviously, anyone once you've been knocked out, you don't want to be knocked out again. It's going to make you a bit more cautious. It's going to make you a bit more wary. But then he came out and absolutely demolished Ruiz. Absolutely schooled him, completely schooled him. And then he loses, like I say, he loses to Usyk. The game plan was all wrong. It was really, really poor. And I think in that fight, he weren't aggressive enough. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. Why Wilder is a pure puncher, Chisora pure puncher. Don't tell me that AJ's not a better boxer than maybe not White, but don't tell me that AJ's not a better boxer than Wilder and Chisora, please.
No, Chisora's awful. Chisora's just a street fighter.
But like I said, I think there's too much in people's minds of that first Usyk fight. I agree. In that first Usyk fight, he looked like he was fighting scared. He looked like he was fighting scared, and the game plan was all wrong. It was terrible. But I think there's too much weight being put on that. I do. If AJ comes out, and I'm not saying that he will, because Usyk's, a completely different level
Very
to
hard to
Ruiz.
it as well, Usyk.
Yeah,
very hard
but like I say, he did mark him up. He's a different level to Ruiz. But if AJ comes out and does to Usyk what he did to Ruiz, changes it up, comes in properly, are people still going to be saying, "Oh, he can't box. He's just a puncher. Oh, he's as good as he's just another Audley Harrison."
If he beats him, I'll go, yeah, okay. Because Usyk is good. I've got loads of respect for him. I think he's a fantastic fighter. But yeah, there will be some respect there. Just going to go for.
I can't believe you compare him to Audley Harrison, man.
Mate, in terms of the fear, he's fear. He's scared. He's scared now.
We'll see.
He'll probably come and knock on my door like he did them university people to me. Oh, talk about glass jaw. I'll give you glass jaw.
Mate, we'll see, right? If he comes out, if tonight he fights the same as he did in the first fight, I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you and say, all right, fair enough. He looks scared. But I don't know. I don't think he will. And Harrison was a different level. Harrison was bad. Terrified. He was bad. That's upset me. That has. Okay,
can I get a prediction for you, mate? Can I get a prediction
for the fight tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, God knows, mate. I have no idea. Honestly, absolutely no idea. I could not call it. I don't think it will go the distance. I think it's going to end in.
I think someone's going to win by knockout. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Harrison. Now I'm calling him Harrison. I think AJ needs to come out aggressive, and if he does, if AJ comes out aggressive and can't get him out of there by the 7th round, 8th round,
4-6, I think.
If he comes out and he can't get him out of there halfway through the fight, it's going to turn, and I think he'll get knocked out. So
yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, mate. Yeah, I think AJ either wins between 4 and 8, like you're saying, or Usyk knocks him out 10, 11, 12. One of them ones.
Yeah,
tough fight. It's a great fight, intriguing fight. And if Arsenal do go and get Paquet, then we'll end up with Tielemans. Where will Tielemans
won't end up with West Ham?
Yeah. Well, again, I would love to sign him. That's really good sign. AJ too stiff. AJ win for me. Oh, bloody hope not. Then the fight everyone wants. AJ. That's the only thing that, I want that fight. Everyone wants that fight.
If AJ wins, Fury's next. That will happen. If AJ wins, Fury's next. I see the WBC give Fury 2 weeks to put him right in what he's actually going to do before they take his belt away. I think he's waiting to see what happens for this fight.
If Usyk won, is there anything that you think Usyk could have a chance against Fury?
No chance.
Just purely on size.
Yeah, purely on size.
And boxing ability as well. I know you say about Fury on the back foot, it's not that great, but he is a bloody good boxer. He
is. No, there's no Usyk can't. In my opinion, can't beat Fury. The size difference is too big. Fury's too good at maintaining distance. No chance. See, this is the thing.
Lean on him as well, wouldn't he?
And I said this to you earlier as well. Like, if Usyk wins, for me, it kills the division. Who does he fight? Fury will stay retired. I don't.
Well, it's tough, isn't
Unless
it? Because like like the next lot coming up, you got Fraser and you got what's his name, Joe Joyce. Like to be honest with you, I would expect them to beat Usyk potentially. Again, just purely by size. But again, what do I know? Usyk might be the greatest boxer that's ever lived. And, he's definitely got a shout for it if he wins again tonight.
I don't know. I think if Usyk wins, I think the division goes stale. I do. I really do. I think the division goes stale for a long time. I think if AJ wins, Fury comes out of retirement for that fight. Wilder is fighting again. It'd be interesting to see what happens there if he gets himself back in the picture. But
I think Joe Joyce is number one as well. I think Joe Joyce is ranked number one. Don't know who will win, but there'll probably be another rematch. Fury wants all the bouts before he retires. Rice, not a bad rapper either. Rice, baby. Callum Smith also fighting tonight for any of you real boxing fans out there. I do love Callum Smith. Big fan. Anything else, mate, on that? Obviously, you're away in a few days' time, so
a couple of weeks' time, but yeah.
Oh, so we have got a couple more podcasts in there, yeah. But yeah, I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Not too many of us today. I suppose you're all watching the is it Tottenham game? Tottenham Wolves, isn't it? What's the early kickoff today?
I have no idea. I haven't even looked.
Yeah, there's an early kickoff going on now, so I'll probably watch that now. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys, for staying loyal. Come your minds, keep believing. Hit that subscribe button. We're about 100 away now from 4K. Let's go.
Cheers.